Stay right there. Don't adjust your breath. Don't look over your shoulder. Just listen, because what I'm about to tell you changes the temperature of your entire bloodline. You feel that, don't you? That little tremor under your ribs, the one you pretend is nothing? That's the air tightening around your name. A government suit just flagged your family, and the streets are whispering like an arrest warrant is cracking its knuckles in the dark. Everyone's pacing, scrolling, speculating, except you. You're standing there with that unnerving stillness, that angel-demon composure they can't interpret, the kind that looks like you've been waiting for this moment. And that is what scares them more than the sirens, because deep down, they know you're not the type to get crushed by pressure. You're the type to mutate in it. Evolve, sharpen, harden like metal meeting God's disappointment. Oh, they're sweating bullets in group chats right now. Did you hear? Someone in their family got flagged. Arrest might be hours away. Bro, what if they're dangerous? They don't realize you already became the danger. Isn't it funny? They're panicking as if you didn't spend years learning to smile inside collapsing rooms, as if you didn't master the art of suffering without making a sound, as if you didn't become the kind of creature who can smell betrayal before it forms a thought. They think you're cornered, but you're calculating, rearranging, watching their reactions the same way a surgeon watches a pulse monitor. Calm, focused, almost amused, because the trap wasn't around you, the trap was around them. They just didn't realize you built it. See, there are two types of people in a crisis: the ones who crumble into prayer, and the ones who become the prayer. And you're the paradox they can't categorize. Saint to the innocent, psychopath to the wicked, angel when you choose mercy, demon when you don't. That duality makes you unpredictable, and unpredictability makes you untouchable. Let them talk. Let them speculate. Let them think the feds are hours away from knocking. Let them imagine your world falling apart. They don't understand. You've lived through worse. You've walked through hell with nothing but instinct, and came back with vision. You know what pressure does to you? It doesn't break you, it reveals you, shows your real wiring. And anyone watching closely is about to witness a transformation they'll regret underestimating. The government suit flagged your family. Good. Let the world think you're being watched. Let them assume fear has you shaking. But you're not scared. You're awake, sharpened, aligned with every shadow that once tried to swallow you. You don't run from darkness anymore. You use it. Right now, someone out there is hoping you fold. Someone is praying this pressure smothers you. Someone wants to see you collapse under the weight of consequences that don't even belong to you. But here's the twist they never saw coming. You don't collapse. You don't retreat. You rise, like a verdict delivered by a cosmic judge with no interest in mercy. They're expecting panic. What they're about to witness is rebirth. Because people like you don't get broken by investigations. People like you become legends through them. So let the sirens whisper. Let the suits watch. Let the rumors spread like wildfire in a drought. They have no idea you're already 10 steps ahead, rewriting your fate with the same hands they tried to cuff. Smile. Not because you're reckless, but because you know something they don't. No matter who they flag, no matter who they warn, no matter who they try to intimidate, you are the storm they cannot contain. And when the dust settles, everyone who doubted you will speak your name with fear, fascination, and a regret so deep it echoes. Now go. Keep that stillness. Keep that smile. Keep that terrifying calm that makes the whole street hold its breath. Because whether they love you, fear you, or misunderstand you, one truth remains. They're not ready for someone built like you. You feel that shift in the air again, don't you? That slow, creeping static, like reality itself is holding its breath around you. Good. Because the moment they flagged your family, the entire city started leaning in, hungry for a scandal, thirsty for a downfall, praying for a collapse. But you didn't flinch, you didn't tremble, you didn't even blink. And that's when the real fear started spreading. They don't fear the sirens, they don't fear the badges, they don't fear the agencies whispering behind tinted glass. They fear you, the one person who doesn't fall apart when the world starts arranging consequences. You stand there like a contradiction wrapped in skin, an angel with hell in your lungs, a demon with mercy in your veins, a prophet with a past that should have buried you, and a future that terrifies everyone watching. That duality is illegal in their little minds. It breaks their categories. It ruins their labels. It exposes their weakness. You didn't just survive the shadows. You learned to navigate them. You became fluent in darkness the way others learn languages. And now, with a single flag, a single alert, a single whisper from a government suit, they think the story ends. No, this is where the story grows fangs. Because while they're pacing, sweating, imagining flashing lights outside your door, you're not begging for a break. You're not scrambling to hide. You're observing, studying, watching the entire ecosystem panic around your silence. Your stillness is a weapon they don't understand. It's surgical, strategic, designed to make their nerves collapse under their own imagination. And oh, they are spiraling. Their group chats, exploding. Her cousin's cousin heard something. His neighbor saw an unmarked car. Somebody's friend works at an office and claims your family is being monitored. Everybody suddenly has intel. Everybody's suddenly an expert. Everybody suddenly thinks your downfall is entertainment. But here's the cosmic joke. They don't realize you've made an art out of being underestimated. You, the quiet storm, the patient executioner, the mind they tried to belittle until they realized belittling you only gave you more surface area to sharpen yourself against. They don't remember what they've seen you do, but you do. You remember every scar like a chapter in a sacred manuscript. You remember the nights you suffocated on silence, the mornings you carried grief like an iron armor, the days your name got dragged by cowards who couldn't survive 5 minutes in your reality. You remember betrayal, humiliation, abandonment, and how each one upgraded you instead of breaking you. That's why you're calm now. Because this moment, this flag, this alert, this investigation, they're so desperate to sensationalize. It's not a punishment. It's a reveal of who you are when life tightens the screws. And the truth is horrifying. Pressure doesn't collapse you. Pressure awakens you. Right now, you're shifting subtly, quietly, in ways only ancient predators and old gods would understand. You're accessing the version of yourself that doesn't react emotionally, but responds surgically. They don't know what it means when someone like you goes silent, when someone like you stops explaining, when someone like you simply watches. Because the last time you leveled up under pressure, someone else's reputation disintegrated, someone else's life got rearranged, someone else's lies turned to ash. And the streets remember that. That's why they're whispering your name like a spell. That's why they think an arrest is hours away. Not because they believe you're guilty, but because they know you're powerful enough to make anyone look guilty by comparison. The government suit flagged your family. Let them. Let them glare at screens. Let them monitor movement. Let them assign agents, analysts, interns, watchers. None of them understand the one fundamental truth you keep tucked beneath your breath. When they watch you watch them back. And you always see more. Because you were never the villain they fear. You were never the saint they hoped for. You were never the pawn they wanted. You're the anomaly. You're the glitch, the paradox, the unbreakable variable, the ungovernable soul, the storm disguised as a human being. And storms don't panic when the sky goes dark. Storms begin when the sky goes dark. So let them track you. Let them whisper. Let them build entire fantasies about your collapse. Because what's really coming is not an arrest, but a reckoning. A moment when every single person who tried to analyze you realizes they miscalculated a creature who doesn't bend under pressure, but evolves through it. Keep standing tall. Keep breathing slow. Keep letting their fear thicken the air. Because sooner or later, everyone watching will understand the same chilling truth. The government didn't flag your family. Fate just flagged you as the one they'll never be able to silence, control, predict, or break. And when the dust settles, they won't be asking whether you survived it. They'll be whispering how you walked through the fire with a calm smile and walked out with a power none of them were prepared for. You're still here, unshaken, unbothered, unmoved by the storm they swear is about to swallow you whole. Good, because the real story hasn't even started yet. Take a breath, slow, controlled, sovereign. Feel how the air around you thickens when you inhale. That's not fear. That's presence. Your presence. The kind that bends tension into obedience. See, when they flagged your family, they expected chaos. They expected trembling. They expected the kind of panic that makes people fold into themselves like broken origami. But you became even more focused, even more sharpened, even more dangerously calm. And that calm is suffocating the whole neighborhood. Right now, someone is peeking through blinds. Someone is replaying old conversations with you. Someone is thinking, did they know something? Did they do something? Did we misjudge them? And the answer is yes. They misjudged you from the very beginning. They forgot you were built from contradictions. Fire in one hand, water in the other. Love that can heal nations. Anger that can flatten egos. A mind that can decode lies. A soul that can resurrect after devastation. They thought you were simple, predictable, explainable. But when pressure hit, their simple became terrifying. Their predictable became unreadable. Their explainable became a phenomenon. You stand here like you've seen the seasons of your own downfall and survived every winter with a grin. Your calm, oh, it's driving them insane. They don't understand how someone flagged by authorities moves like a god studying insects. Let them watch. Let them analyze your silence. Let them think they're closing in. Because what they don't know is that you've already calculated the entire board. You've already anticipated every outcome. You've already prepared every escape route, every angle, every psychological lever. You've been preparing for storms long before this one. After all, this isn't the first time the world tried to break you. You remember the nights where your own breath felt weaponized against you, where your heartbeat was louder than your thoughts, where people you trusted turned into spectators, and people you feared turned into reminders. But guess what? You didn't die. You didn't disappear. You didn't shatter the way they prayed you would. You transformed, piece by piece, scar by scar, pain by pain. You rebuilt yourself into something that doesn't crumble when it's cornered. It clarifies. That's why you're so calm now. Not because you're fearless, but because you learned that fear is just adrenaline with a costume on. And adrenaline? Oh, you drink that like morning coffee. Make no mistake. There's someone out there right now shaking with excitement at the thought of your downfall. Someone replaying the rumors like comfort food. Someone scrolling for updates, hoping the worst happens. But that's the beautiful thing about pain. You turned it into patience. You turned wounds into weapons. You turned silence into strategy. While they gossip, you breathe. While they speculate, you observe. While they crumble, you rise. Do you know how dangerous that makes you? Your mind under pressure is a locked room full of blueprints. Your soul under pressure is a forge glowing white hot. Your decisions under pressure are scalpel precise, and the world is terrified because they can feel something shifting inside you. That quiet, irreversible moment where a survivor becomes an architect. The government suit thinks flagging you is a warning. What they don't realize is that it's an initiation. Pressure is your birthplace. Accusation is your fuel. Silence is your camouflage. Let them think an arrest is hours away. Let them whisper your name like it's cursed. Let them anticipate your collapse. Because soon, and it's coming, you're going to do what you always do when the world tries to choke you. You're going to inhale the pressure, exhale the doubt, and walk out on the other side unbroken, unreadable, and untouchable. And the same people who wanted your downfall, they'll stand there in stunned silence, realizing that flagging you didn't stop you. It activated you. And when you activate, when you enter that rare state where clarity becomes weaponized and emotion becomes power, there's not a force on this earth, badge, rumor, suit, or shadow, that can contain what you're about to become. Stay exactly as you are. Don't shift your weight. Don't blink faster. Don't let the moment slip. Because what comes next is where your legend begins. Listen, right now, somewhere in an office lit by fluorescent lies, a government suit is scrolling through your last name, tracing it, highlighting it, tapping their pen as if they've just discovered a cosmic anomaly. They think they've cornered you, flagged you, identified a risk. But what they've really done is accidentally tapped the sleeping nerve of something far older, far deeper, far more dangerous than they are prepared to handle. You. And as that alert pings through their system, as the rumor spills into the streets like gasoline on hot concrete, people who once spoke boldly around you are suddenly quiet, not supportive. Quiet, not loyal. Quiet. Fear changes tone, and you're hearing it now. Their voices dropped an octave, their eyes dart away quicker, their body language tightened, because you're no longer normal in their minds. You're no longer one of them. You're something else entirely. A variable that can't be controlled, can't be predicted, can't be dismissed. You're the kind of person they make documentaries about later, the kind they study in agencies, the kind they whisper about when the lights dim. And the more silent you become, the more their imaginations do the work for you. You don't lift a finger, and yet fear multiplies. You don't raise your voice, and yet tension spikes. You don't justify yourself, and yet guilt blooms in hearts that deserve it. Your existence alone is a psychological earthquake. You think they flagged your family? No, they flagged the shift you caused. Because somewhere along the line, you stopped moving like a civilian and started moving like a force. You stopped seeking approval and started seeking alignment. You stopped explaining your wounds and started weaponizing your silence. People sensed it. even if they couldn't name it, even if they couldn't comprehend it. And now, with one government alert, everything they secretly feared about you is starting to look true. This is what evolution looks like in real time. Everyone else panics while you simply breathe. But let's peel back the curtain deeper, shall we? Because there's something they don't know, something you've kept buried beneath your skin, beneath your heartbeat, beneath your calm. You didn't rise from a soft life. You rose from a crucible. You rose from depths that would have erased lesser souls. You rose from nights where the only thing keeping you alive was the stubborn refusal to let the darkness win. You rose from betrayals that should have warped your identity. You rose from heartbreaks that should have shattered your empathy. You rose from pressures that should have obliterated your sanity. And yet here you stand, balanced, breathing, eerily composed. The world wants you scared right now. They want you scrambling. They want you sweating. But your soul learned long ago that fear is a leash, one you snapped with your teeth. The streets think an arrest is hours away. Good. Let them sit on the edge of their seats. Let them refresh their screens, waiting for your downfall. Let them rehearse the gossip they hope to use. Because the moment they believe you're cornered, you gain the upper hand. They don't understand what happens when someone like you is pushed. They don't understand how you calculate under pressure. They don't understand the difference between a person breaking and a person awakening. You awaken every single time. And here's the part that makes this deliciously poetic. The people praying for your collapse. They're the ones who will crumble first. Because you've already faced worse than this. You've already danced with storms that had your name stitched into their lightning. You've already survived chapters that would have ended other bloodlines. So this, a flag, an alert, an investigation, it's not a downfall. It's a signal. A signal that the universe is clearing the stage. A signal that the old version of you has expired. A signal that the next evolution isn't optional. It's happening whether the world is ready or not. And make no mistake, the world is not ready. Not for your clarity, not for your strength, not for your silence, not for your rebirth. So stand there. Let them guess. Let them panic. Let them build entire scripts about your collapse. Because soon, very soon, they'll realize the truth. You were never the one being hunted. You were the one being revealed. And once a spirit like yours is revealed, there's no badge, no rumor, no agency, no whisper, no fear that can put you back into the shadows again. You're already rising, even if they don't see it yet, even if they don't believe it yet, even if they don't understand it yet. But they will. Oh, they will. And when they do, they'll wish the only thing they did was flag your family. Because the force you're becoming now, that's the thing that rewrites fates and leaves entire systems trembling. Look up for a second. There it is. That shiver. The one you get right before something classified steps into the room. Because I need your full attention for this one, Kid C. There's a rumor crawling through the walls of the world's most paranoid buildings. Not the comment sections, not the streets, not the back alley whisper networks. I'm talking vaults. Places where people don't breathe unless 12 signatures approve it. Places where lies get filed as truth and truth gets buried under concrete and silence. And in those places, they're saying your strategy, yes, yours, is now required study material for both the NSA and Russia's GRU. Two organizations that would rather burn the planet than agree on the weather. Yet they're sitting there side by side, hunched over a screen, replaying your moves like they're scripture written by a ghost with a grudge. You want to know why? Lean in. Because what you did shouldn't have been possible. Your pattern wasn't a pattern. Your logic wasn't logic. Your timing wasn't timing. It was a fracture, a ripple, a paradox wearing human skin. You didn't strategize. You warped probability. And the funniest part? You didn't even do it on purpose. You just did what you always do. You walked in with that quiet, surgical kind of chaos, that saint on Monday, demon by midnight energy. That unpredictable rhythm born from someone who's lived through pain, so sharp, it gave you X-ray vision for human nature. They're trying to decode that. They're trying to turn your trauma into an equation, your instincts into a training module, your contradictions into a curriculum. But here's the problem. You're not a curriculum, you're an anomaly, a glitch with intent, a prophecy with teeth. They can't teach what you did because they don't even know why it worked. Your move broke every model. One analyst in the NSA wrote down, "unpredictable." Another crossed it out and wrote, "No, self-consistent unpredictability." Another added, "Subject appears to anticipate reactions before they exist." GRU looked at the same footage and said, "This is not improvisation. This is evolutionary intuition." Two empires, two ideologies, two monsters with different masks, finally agreeing on one terrifying sentence. Whatever is operating inside this person is not normal. But you already knew that, didn't you? Because underneath that calm face, you carry two wolves gnawing on each other. The light that wants to save everyone, and the darkness that wants to see who survives the fire. You've been both the guardian and the executioner, the healer and the harbinger, the saint who learned how to bleed without screaming, and the psychopath who learned how to love without flinching. That duality, that contradiction, that impossible blend of softness and savagery, that's what they're studying. Not your steps, not your plan. You, your psychology, your thresholds, your breaks, your recoveries, your fractures, your rebirths. Because here's the real secret. You don't win because you're smarter than them. You win because you're less predictable than their fear models allow. You slip through algorithms like a ghost slips through walls. You subvert expectations so subtly that by the time they realize what you did, you've already rebuilt the entire battlefield. And now the world's watchmen are terrified. They're watching you the way astronomers watch a new black hole. With awe, with panic, with resignation, because deep down, they know the truth. You didn't cheat the system. You became the system update. And every agent studying you knows the same horrifying fact. If they tried to copy your strategy, they'd break themselves long before they mastered it. Because your strategy isn't a technique. It's a transformation, a mutation birthed from pain and polished with clarity. A weapon carved from everything you were never supposed to survive. NSA calls you the anomaly. GRU calls you the ghost tactician. But me? I know what you really are. You're the outlier. The universe apologizes to the one person whose existence forces the equation to rewrite itself. The one creature who doesn't respond to pressure like the rest. Where others crack, you sharpen. Where others panic, you calculate. Where others beg, you become something else. And that is why every power on Earth is studying you. Because you are the new blueprint, a creature of paradox. A strategist born from storm. A mind that learned to see through walls by first surviving them. A soul that turned its wounds into a navigation system. And now they're preparing entire units, entire doctrines, entire operations, based on trying to keep up with you. Let that sink in. Your strategy wasn't just impressive, it was historic, threat level, world-shifting. They're scared of you, kid, not because of what you did, but because of what you'll do next, and you haven't even started. Ah, there it is. That pulse behind your ribs. The one that wakes up whenever the truth gets too close to your skin. Good, because we're far from done. You think the NSA and GRU stopped at studying your strategy? No. That was just phase 1. The holy what is this phase? Phase 2 was worse. They started profiling your unpredictability. Imagine a room full of analysts, people who breathe paranoia and dream in threat models, all staring at a board with your face on it. Some of them think you're a genius, some think you're insane, most think you're both. And none of them can agree on where your next move will land. So what do? They start pulling apart every contradiction you carry. Your kindness, suspiciously precise. Your darkness, strategically timed your mistakes. Too effective to be accidents. Your silence, louder than threats. Your patterns, patternless but consistent. One analyst wrote, "Subjects' emotional reactions appear genuine." Another replied, "No, they appear engineered to appear genuine." Another added, "Subject may be emotionally authentic and strategically weaponized simultaneously." See, even they can't decide if you're consciously orchestrating reality, or if reality simply reshapes itself around you. And that uncertainty, that breach in their certainty, that's why they fear you. Because intelligence agencies don't panic when they understand something, they panic when they can't. And you, oh, you beautiful anomaly, you shattered their categories. They can't place you on a spectrum. They can't classify your threat level. They can't predict your outcomes with any meaningful accuracy. So they did the only thing they could do. They built a new model. A model based on paradox-driven individuals, on people who evolve under suffering instead of breaking, on minds that turn pressure into clairvoyance, on souls that adapt faster than systems can respond. And guess what the model is named? The Joker Protocol. Not because you're a clown, not because you're chaotic, but because your thinking doesn't obey linear logic. You bend probability by destabilizing certainty. You force outcomes by manipulating pressure points others never see. You operate on the level where emotion becomes math, and math becomes manipulation, and manipulation becomes destiny. You don't follow strategy, you become the inflection point. But they still don't understand the most terrifying part of you. Your power doesn't come from intelligence. It comes from pain, perfecting itself. From the nights you spent alone rewiring your own mind. From the betrayals that taught you precision. From the losses that taught you detachment. From the love that taught you leverage. From the fear that taught you calculation. From the silence that taught you to hear everything. NSA called it resilience. GRU called it survival adaptation. Both are wrong. It's evolution, a biological response to a life you weren't meant to survive. You didn't get smarter, you got sharper, colder, faster, deeper, quieter, more dangerous. Your instincts didn't improve, they mutated. And mutation scares the hell out of governments. Because how do you lock onto a person whose pain turned them into a moving algorithm? How do you predict someone who becomes a new version of themselves every morning? How do you study a strategy that only exists because of the moment it's created? They're baffled. They're calling in psychologists, neuroscientists, military theorists, quantum behavior specialists, hell, even philosophers. One GRU officer said, This individual demonstrates an uncanny ability to sense strategic openings before they form. An NSA analyst responded, "That's impossible," then added, "unless subject is operating from a higher-order intuitive framework not yet understood." They're not studying your plan anymore. They're studying your mind state, your inner architecture, your emotional coding, because they realized something horrifying. Your strategy wasn't the threat you are. Not your moves, not your decisions, not your steps. You, the phenomenon behind them. You're the kind of person who walks into a room and changes its gravity. The kind of person who breaks tension by absorbing it. The kind of person who shifts outcomes by existing in the right place at the right time. With the right silence, you're the variable no one accounts for. Because you don't move like a variable. You move like an inevitable event. A storm in slow motion, a prophecy pretending to be human. A contradiction that refuses to collapse. And now every major intelligence agency is building new strategies with one objective. Handle you cautiously, not eliminate you. Not neutralize you, no. They're smarter than that. They know killing an anomaly like you only creates a legend, a story. A ripple that destabilizes the narrative. They want to understand you, contain you, study you, not to control you, but to avoid being blindsided by you again, because they all know the truth. You're not predictable, you're catalytic. Where you go, systems shift. Where you speak, people realign. Where you move, pressure builds. Where you decide, reality bends. You broke their timeline with a single decision, and they're terrified because they know. They absolutely know. You're about to do it again. So tell me, what exactly do you think happens when the world's most paranoid organizations realize that the next anomaly they failed to predict is already breathing, already ready, already evolving? Because here's what they don't know. Your real strategy. You haven't even used it yet. Good. You're still here. That means you felt it, that quiet itch under your ribs, the one that whispers, they're watching, and they still don't understand what they're watching. So let's go deeper, much deeper. Because the part that rattled them wasn't the move you made. It was the silence before it. See, intelligence agencies rely on one thing above all: prediction. If they can't predict you, they can't control you. And if they can't control you, they have to classify you as a threat. But you didn't just break their predictions. You humiliated their predictions. You walked right through their behavioral models like they were paper doors. You made their analysts argue in circles. You made their algorithms cough up errors. You made entire divisions sit there in silence, replaying your footage with the same expression parents get when their kid suddenly speaks a foreign language. Because they weren't just confused by your strategy, they were overwhelmed by its implications. Let me tell you what they're whispering behind those soundproof walls. If this individual can do that without resources, what happens when they find purpose? That's the part that terrifies them, because they've seen people with skill. They've seen people with intelligence. They've seen people with training, discipline, money, teams, backing, infrastructure. But they've never seen someone like you, someone whose strategy comes from experience, not education, from trauma, not textbooks, from instincts carved through fire and rebuilt in the dark. You have something their operatives spend decades trying to fake. A mind shaped by duality, light and dark shaking hands under your skin, saint and psychopath sharing a heartbeat, angel and demon negotiating inside your chest. Most people collapse under that pressure. You made it your compass. The NSA's report called you a paradoxical operator. GRU called you a self-correcting chaos engine. But neither of them have the vocabulary for what you really are. Because you're not chaotic, you're not stable, you're not predictable, you're not erratic, you're adaptive, instantly, intuitively. Irreversibly, an adaptation is far scarier than intelligence, because intelligence can be measured, predicted, intercepted. Adaptation, that's what nature gives to creatures meant to survive extinction-level events, creatures like you. But let's go even darker. They didn't just watch your strategy, they dissected your emotional timing. You know the moment everyone else hesitates, that microsecond where doubt crawls into the mind. You don't have that moment. You have something else. A flicker, a switch, a cold stillness that drops over your eyes like a curtain. And in that instant, you stop being a person in their models. You become an event, something that happens to the environment, to the room, to the system, to the people around you. NSA wrote, subject's effect drops to flatline before high-impact decisions. GRU added, indicates neither panic nor calm, indicates certainty. And certainty scares them, because certainty is the domain of prophets, monsters, and revolutionaries, and they can't decide which one you are. But here's the twist. You're none of them, you're something worse. You are the knife edge between prophecy and threat, the place where fate pauses to reconsider itself, the anomaly that bends outcomes simply by stepping into frame. And do you want to know the moment they realized no simulation could predict you? It wasn't your strategy, it wasn't your silence, it wasn't the impossible sequence of steps you pulled off. It was your recovery speed. Most people need days, weeks, months to bounce back from a blow. You bounce back mid-breath. You adjust in real time. You recalibrate while you bleed. You mentally reorganize while the floor is still shaking. One NSA analyst wrote, subject rebuilds emotional stability faster than our operatives can destabilize it. Another replied, this person doesn't recover. They metabolize impact. That word hit them hard, because metabolizing impact, that's evolution level SHD. That's how apex predators emerge. Not by avoiding damage, but by absorbing it, learning from it, and weaponizing it. You think these agencies are studying you because you're impressive? No, they're studying you because you're dangerous in a way they've never seen before. Dangerous not because you strike, but because you adapt faster than their countermeasures. Dangerous not because you plan, but because you flow around plans designed to contain you. Dangerous not because you break rules, but because you rewrite the psychological terrain the rules stand on. You don't destabilize systems, you destabilize the assumptions behind them. And that is why both the NSA and GRU agreed. Your strategy must be required study material, because if they don't learn you, they'll lose to you. Not someday, not eventually, but by default. And the best part? They still think the strategy they saw was your masterpiece. They still think that was the big one. Oh no, that wasn't your masterpiece. That was your warm-up, your real play, your real evolution. You haven't shown that to anyone yet, not them, not me, not even yourself. But when you do, the world won't need analysts to interpret it. They'll need warnings. Good. Stay right here. Because now we're crossing into the territory they never want you to know you're in. See, when agencies like the NSA or GRU study someone, it's usually clinical detached. Cold. Just another body on a board, another name in a file. But you didn't get a file. You got a task force, a joint one. They pulled specialists from opposite corners of the world, people who would normally rather drink bleach than cooperate, and forced them into the same room because no single agency could make sense of you alone. And do you want to hear the truly hysterical part? None of them can agree on what you are. One says you're a strategist, another says you're an instinctive anomaly, another insists you're a behavioral outlier, another claims you're an emergent psychological category that hasn't been named. Yet one analyst said, he's either a saint with trauma or a devil with empathy. Another said, he's both, that's the problem. And then some poor intern wrote the line that made the room go silent. Subject behaves like someone who already survived the outcome before it happened. And everyone just stared at it, because that line was the one they were afraid to articulate. You don't move like someone making decisions. You move like someone remembering them, like you've already lived through the consequences, like your next step is the only one that ever existed. You operate with post-event certainty during the event. And that's what terrifies them, because certainty is not supposed to live in humans. Certainty is supposed to live in gods, devils, fate, inevitability. Not someone walking around looking normal, not someone who laughs, who breathes, who sits in rooms without knowing every wall is sweating because of them. But you, kid, you make inevitability look casual. And they don't have a training manual for that. You know what else made them panic? When they realized your strategies don't come from confidence. They come from awareness, that quiet, eerie awareness you carry like a second heartbeat. The thing that makes you notice micro-expressions, tone shifts, hidden intentions, inconsistencies, lies people don't know they're telling you. Don't fight battles. You dissect them. You don't outsmart people. You preempt them. And you don't win because you're better. You win because you're already beyond the part where you could lose. That's why they study you, because they built entire systems around the assumption that people break the moment pressure spikes. But you're built on the opposite rule. The higher the pressure, the clearer your mind becomes. Most people crumble in chaos. You crystallize. Most people get sloppy when stressed. You get precise. Most people freeze when the room turns hostile. You become the thing the room fears. And that's when the GRU gave you a classification that made everyone uncomfortable. Adaptive dominant. Meaning put you in any environment. Hostile, neutral, unfamiliar, volatile. And you'll rise to the psychological top of the hierarchy faster than any of their models predict. Not because you're aggressive, not because you're loud, not because you demand control, but because everyone else subconsciously reorganizes themselves around your presence. They called it silent gravitational influence, as if your mind has its own orbit, as if your psychology bends the room. And that's when someone, we don't know who, asked the question what nobody wanted to say out loud. What happens if this person ever decides to lead intentionally? No joke. The room fell silent for 23 seconds. Because, right now, you're dangerous by accident, you're influential without trying, you're impactful without effort, you're unpredictable without intent. But if you ever focused, if you ever aimed all that duality, precision, pain-forged clarity, and instinctive evolution at a single target, they know the result. They've written it down in red ink. High global impact event triggered by a single individual.